you dance, taking a chance. Telling me to you dance, taking a chance. Telling me to you dance, taking a chance. Pretty people dance, 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 pretty people, pretty people dance, pretty people, pretty people dance, pretty people. Pretty people dance. Pretty people. Pretty people telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Pretty people dance, pretty people dance, pretty people dance, pretty people dance, pretty people, pretty people dance, pretty people, pretty people. Taking a chance. Telling me to you dance, taking a chance. Telling me to you dance, taking a chance. Pretty people dance, 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 pretty people, pretty people dance, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people to dance, taking a chance.
All right. Hi, everybody. It is Tammy P, ads and marketing expert. Hello. I hope everyone is doing good. Today is Tuesday, June 18th. It is about 12:11 p.m. Hello. So say hello as you join. Give me a hashtag live or hashtag replay if you are listening. So today we are going to be talking about dynamic creative. We're going to be talking about creative in general. There's a lot of new updates that are happening in the Ads Manager right now, which keeps me so busy, but I love it. So today's topic is all about dynamic creative ads going away and what to do instead. We're going to talk about that today. And I've been running ads, been setting up ads all morning with my clients, and we've been setting up a little differently. So we're going to talk about that today. So for those that don't know me, my name is Tammy P. I'm an ads and marketing expert, and I help clients, I help coaches find success with their ads. Really, like, we're doing so many things. It's so exciting. So we're talking about today again, dynamic ads and dynamic ads. Now, I don't know if everybody knows what dynamic ads are or not. So give me a yes in the chat if you know what dynamic ads are before we get started. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you guys some things. It was interesting because I wanted to teach a workshop on creative. So I was like, okay, we'll call it the dynamic creative workshop because that's one of the main ways I've been running ads. And as soon as I went and published that I was doing this workshop this week, which is actually happening this week, it gave me this thing that said dynamic creative's going away. So like, as soon as I went to do something, it said it was going away. So I was like, oh, this is so interesting that I wanted to run this workshop to talk about dynamic creative on the week that it's actually going away. But maybe that was meant to be so that I can teach it the new way that I'm doing it. And so everybody's aware. Now, one of the things with Facebook ads that I think people say to me, I mean, they definitely say it to me all the time, is like, things are always changing. And yes, that is true. That is literally how it is. But I am literally in the Facebook Ads Manager, either my account or my clients' accounts, every single day. So I can see things happening and I can report back to everybody so that you don't have any issues when you start running your ads, okay? So we're going to be talking about that today. So let me know in the chat. And then, so the format of today, I'm going to be going through dynamic ad creative, what to do next. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about, I do have a workshop coming up. So I have a workshop coming up on June 20th. It is Thursday, June 20th. It's a full workshop. So it's a full 2-hour workshop on creative. It's all because that's really where it's at. And we're going to talk about that for a minute. So we're going to be talking about dynamic ads, what to do instead. It's actually a super hands-on workshop. June 20th, it is $7. Like I'm charging $7 for it. And it's also a Q&A. So I've rolled this out for actually, if anybody's listening who's a student in my ad club, if you're a student in my ad club, you get it for free and we get lifetime access to the replay as well. Full 2-hour workshop happening this Thursday, June 20th at noon. So if you guys want in, just let me know and we'll get you in there and you can really learn all about. But today we're going to talk about kind of what are the changes. And so that you know, if like you're running ads for yourself, if you're running ads for your clients and you see new things happening, you're going to be in the know and be prepared around it. Okay. I was working on some ads over the weekend and they were acting so weird because what happens with ads and when Facebook is rolling out new features or changing things up, they are actually, stuff gets a little wonky. So some of the things that I do with my clients is, we're troubleshooting, right? So a lot of times we're troubleshooting if stuff isn't working exactly as we want it. When Facebook makes big changes, which I'm seeing them happening right now, what happens is they don't roll out the changes all at one time so that when you start running your ads, maybe some things work and some things don't work, okay? So just know if things are a little strange, if things are a little off, if things are a little wonky right now, that is because Facebook is doing some big updates again. And so don't be alarmed by that. And also, I want to tell everybody before I get into this, because I talk this about with my students and my clients every day, don't force anything happening. Just try to work through things every day. So part of Facebook ads is dealing with the tech, which again, I do it all day. So it doesn't phase me. But if you get frustrated a little bit with the tech, just do a little bit, do 10 minutes. And then walk away and do some more the next day. That's what I recommend. Just because sometimes it does get a little frustrating with the text. So don't force it. It used to be me. I used to be this person that was I'm trying to make everything work. And it's I'd spend hours on it and then I waste all my time when really it was just an issue because Facebook is rolling out some new features. And it's I just wasted time. I didn't need to do that. Right. So that's all I wanted to say around that. All right, so let's get into the topic again. For anybody that wants my workshop, we've got a live workshop coming up this Thursday, June 20th at noon Eastern. And when you sign up, you get the replay. So drop the word workshop below if you want to get in. And I'm literally just going to be sharing a small portion of what we're going to be doing on the workshop, which is very hands-on on Zoom on Thursday. So I'd love to have you guys in if you want. Again, today we're talking about dynamic ads are going away and what to do next. Again, my whole point of doing this is I want everybody to really, I want everybody to know what's going on so they don't have issues when they're starting to work for working on ads for themselves or even for their clients. I have lots of clients now who I actually teach them how to run ads so they can run ads effectively for their clients as well. So if that's you, just know that and don't try to force anything. Don't try to force anything. Okay. So let me know if you're here. Give me a hashtag live, hashtag replay. I'm going to start with sharing my screen because I want to show you guys what I saw this past week. As soon as I started to do the workshop, I'm going to share my ads manager and show you guys what I see. And so you can see that for yourself as well. Let me see. Let me go into I'm on, I've been streaming actually with StreamYard. Just so I can stream into the groups and all the things nowadays, just because it's a whole deal nowadays with streaming into groups. It's a new thing. So I'm using StreamYard and we're streaming all the places right now. So I'm going to go through just what I'm seeing. So again, we're in an ads manager here and we press edit. And in here, oops, I see this little pop-up happen. We're at the ad set level. So this is where if I was going to be sending dynamic creative, it's popping up, of course, something new that they want me to try. If I was turning on dynamic creative, it would be here. So this is the ad set level or the audience level. And I typically turn it on this tab. Well, like I said, what I noticed last week is it it read this thing. So let me blow this up so everybody can see it super clear. And so that you know what's happening and what to do instead. So this says dynamic creative will be going away soon. Until then, using dynamic creative will enable the flexible ad format. Okay, so right here it says the flexible ad format. Like, what does this mean? This seems very confusing, right? So we know this is going away. Like, this whole thing is going to be gone and obsolete. So it says, until then, using dynamic creative will enable the flexible ad format. This allows you to continue providing creative elements to automatically generate combinations tailored for your audience, which, by the way, that's what it's all about. It's actually all about creative now. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and how important it is to test a lot of creative to come up with a winning ad. So, and then it goes on to say, so this part is really important. It allows you to provide creative elements to automatically generate combinations tailored for your audience, which is what we want. We want lots and lots and lots of creative combinations to the audience so that we can find a winning ad. And then it goes on to say, we'll also show your ad in the format that we predict may perform best. And that's fine. So it goes in, you can read about flexible ad format, or you can even do a search on flexible ad format in here, right? The main point is, like, I see something new and I've been running ads. So this is not the only way I run ads, but I have been enjoying running dynamic creative because the beautiful thing about it is you can test a lot of different creative for one price, right? So it's not as expensive. So that whole section is going away. So don't use it anymore. Like, if you have ads that are currently running using dynamic, cool, don't change them. Otherwise, it's going to mess up your ads, because you won't be able to utilize this anymore, okay? So what are we doing instead? It's talking about flexible ad format. I want to show everybody where that is. So if I now go into my ads manager, I'm at the ad set level, which is audiences, and I go to ads. This is where it is now, which makes more sense in my opinion. It makes more sense that it is in the ad level, because that's where the creative is. So it was always very confusing to me that dynamic creative would be in the audiences. Like, it doesn't make sense. So it actually makes sense that they're changing it around. It's just kind of annoying because I have ads set up that way, right? So instead, what we're doing is we're running them. It's all in the creative, which again, it makes sense that it's moving, because I feel like it was confusing turning on dynamic creative, like, in an audience. Like, that doesn't make sense, and audiences are all changing around anyway. So instead, what we're doing, if we want to test out a lot of different creative, now there's not one way to do this. Like, I've set up my ads probably 4 different ways already this morning with clients. So instead, what we can do is we're going to come down here, and again, you can see this format here. So we're in the ad set, we're in the ad level. So we're in the 3rd tab. This is where we typically be building out our creative, right? So we'd be building out our, putting in our ad design, putting in our ad copy, maybe a video or 2, et cetera, right? So this is where we're building out our ad, okay? Now, instead of dynamic, what we're picking is flexible. So this is literally just rolled out like this past week. And I've been seeing them pop in to a lot of my accounts and my ads, my clients' accounts. So instead of dynamic, we're going to come down here to format, and we're going to pick flexible. Okay. So that is going to enable when we pick flexible. Now, another way is you could do single image or video, you could do carousel, et cetera, et cetera. But when we pick flexible, then that's what's going to do is it's going to allow us to pick more formats. So what I like about dynamic, or what I've liked about dynamic creative, is that you could test out like a lot of different ad designs. And when I say a lot, typically I would pick 10 different ad designs. I pick 5 different copy, and we do a lot of split testing, a lot of testing of creative up front. Because what that happens, if you do a lot of creative testing up front, you're going to really know what works and just lean into that. And in my opinion, a lot of times with people that give up and they say ads don't work, or I don't want to do ads, or whatever the issue is because they really just didn't give it a try. They didn't really test it out enough to know like what works, right? So you got to do that due diligence of testing out a lot of creative up front. And so again, we were choosing flexible creative. And what that does is it actually allows us to pick a lot of different creatives. So as you can see here, where it says add media, it says 0 to 10. So we can test up to 10 different designs. And then primary text is 0 of 5. So if I put in here, it says like ad copy, I can do up to 5 here, right? So if I do ad copy 2, 3, oops. So you get the deal. So you can, it says 3 of 5, 4 or 5. You can test up to 5 pieces of copy, and you can test up to actually now this is even more, 3 headlines or 5 headlines. So headline 1, I'm just showing you guys so you can really see what's going on here. So headlines is your call to action or your hook. So test up to 5 on here. And obviously you got to put all this in. This is a whole nother discussion here about Advantage Plus creative optimization. So that is the deal. So this is what you're going to need to pick. So you're going to need to pick, again, not dynamic creative. We're not picking dynamic creative anymore. We're actually turning on flexible in the ad level. And that way, if we turn on flexible under the ad format, then we're going to be able to test out up to 10 different pieces of copy, or sorry, 10 different ad designs and 5 different copy. That's only one way that we run ads. So there's other ways to do it. You don't have to use flexible. Dynamic, again, is obsolete. So don't use dynamic if you are. You can use flexible, or you can set things up in a more traditional way where you're testing out multiple creatives with multiple like ad campaigns at the ad level. So ad creatives. Now, I do recommend, like I said, one of the issues that I see of why people give up with their ads is they just say they didn't work. And it often stems from the fact that we have to test out different creative. When I say different creative, I segment it into 3 different areas, right? When I say ad creative, one would be ad design, right? So one is ad design. And when I say ad design, this could be a variety of formats. The main 3 formats that we use is we can use either for ad design, we can use like a regular print image. We can also use a carousel, which I think are very popular on Instagram right now, those scrolling carousels. Or we could test video, and the best is short form or reels, right? So reels, the 3 different types of ad creatives that we can possibly test are print design, carousel, and reels. Those are my recommendations. Then the other part is the ad copy. So we can test up to 5 different pieces of ad copy, and I test usually a variety, but for me personally, I've been seeing long or short form copy doing better. So typically I'll do 1 to 2 long form and 3 short form. Then we can also split test. Like, in my opinion, we should be testing different headlines, right? So a lot of times when people are talking about Instagram, they talk about like hooks, like what we're putting on the Instagram reel so that people want to watch, right? It's no different with ads. So we want to come up with a variety of like hooks and headlines that we're also going to test out as well. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, I have a methodology for testing, and we test a lot of creative up front. So we'll test a lot of different ad designs, which include, like I said, print design. It can include short form video, like a reel. It can also include a carousel, which carousels are great. Then we're also going to test out a lot of different copy. This would be short form and long form, anywhere from 3 to 5. Then we're also going to test out a variety of hooks and headlines to see what makes people like draw them in and get their attention, and also makes them want to click, right? Hooks and headlines, very, very important. So again, I have a methodology around this when it comes to the ad creative, because it's that important now. Like, audiences, just so everybody knows, the old way of doing ads, it's out the window now. We're running ads completely differently now. And it's just so different, and it really is all about the creative. Like, literally, you guys, if you hear nothing else today, I want you to know that the creative is everything. Okay, I'll give you one example. one of my clients, she's super niche, and she is a does B2B, and she's does marketing for tree service companies. Okay. And when we first started her ad, we did test out a lot of different copy. We probably tested out like 10 different ad graphics. We tested out, I think 3 or 5 different copy and probably 3 different headlines, right? Then we run those ads for a whole week. From there, so her cost per lead when she originally started her ad was up over like $11, right? And so a lot of times, like, people are getting results, but they're spending way too much money. And so I said, let's look at what's working based on what was the best performing ad creative. What was the best headline? What was the best graphic? What were people actually drawn to the most? And then also, what was the best copy? And then we just take all that goodness that we know is already working, and we start another ad to move in the direction of getting the results that we want, which ultimately is not paying too much for people, right? Not paying too much for leads or sales. So like with this one client, we started her ad in the week 1 of running her ad with all these different creatives that I'm talking about. She was getting like $11 a lead. Then what we did was we took all of the winning ad creative, everything that did really well, and we put that into another campaign, and she got her cost per lead down by half. So she's running at under $6 a lead for her niche, which is amazing. Okay. So there's a couple of different takeaways here. There's a lot going on with what I had to say. I just said a lot of stuff, but the main reason is I wanted to give everybody an update today, just so you guys all know, because this is what keeps me busy with clients, is because things are always changing, and then people are like, oh, I need help. Right. So this is my due diligence to let everybody know that things are changing. And so that when you run ads again, for you to be aware that dynamic creative is going away. There is no more dynamic creative. Do not use dynamic creative anymore. Instead, use something called flexible. And again, you can watch the replay, but flexible creative is what we're using, which is very similar to dynamic, except for it's just moved over the next to the ad creative level, just to confuse everybody, right? This is where like people are like, oh, I'm trying to run ads, but it's so different. It's changing all the time. I'm like, yes, this is how it is, right? So no dynamic creative. Just know that for today. If there's no other takeaway that you get from this, do not use it dynamic creative anymore. Try and test out flexible creative. Especially if you're starting new campaigns and you need to test a lot of different creatives. So that would be my recommendation there. And then also be open in general to testing lots and lots and lots of ad creative. Okay. Ad creative is where it's at. If you want to get your ad to work. Okay. When all I hear from people is my ads are not working, it's not working, right? It's because we have not done that due diligence of actually testing out the creative, right? So we need to do that. We need to do that due diligence of testing out the ad creative, okay, in order to know what is working, in order to know what our audiences love, right? And then also to move in the direction of getting the result that we want for not as much money. That's the whole thing, for not as much money, right? We want to be moving in the direction of what I call a winning ad. We want to be moving in the direction of not paying too much to get a sale or not paying too much to get a lead, okay? All right, so I hope that is really helpful. Now, if you want to deep dive, if you want to go in depth on all of what I just said, because I have an actual methodology that I teach for an actual structure methodology I teach for creative, for testing out lots and lots of creative, again, using hooks, headlines, different ad design, different ad copy. And I'm going to go through the whole methodology, my creative methodology, on the workshop on Thursday. So we do have a workshop coming up. It's in 2 days. It's Thursday, June 20th. It's at noon Eastern. If you sign up, you get access to the replay and all the things. And I'm going to drop it in after the video so everybody knows and they can get access as they want it. I'll send out one more email probably tomorrow. And I had some people that I was talking to said, yeah, they saw it. So if you really want to learn this, I'm going to be teaching you what's working right now in June of 2024 based on all the changes that have been happening in the past week, and how to actually run your ads, how to structure that creative so that you can actually get the results that you want, how to set up your ads so it's set up the correct way. And so you're not having an issue of like, I set up my ad wrong, so it's not working. So in my opinion, like the two reasons why people's ads don't work the way that they want them to work is because they didn't set up the ad right, which again, I totally get it because things are changing, like it just changed again. So how would you know? And then they didn't test enough ad creative. So we're going to be going through that. We're going to be going through how to set up your ad using this new flexible creative format, not dynamic. And then I'm going to go through my whole methodology on how to do the creative, what is the process that I go through when I'm starting ads for myself or even when I'm coaching my clients. Okay. So it's going to be it's going to be good. And I'm going to go in depth on my methodology, my creative methodology for this. And it's going to be a full 2-hour workshop. It's going to be in Zoom, hands-on, super hands-on. I'm always hands-on with everything that I teach, including a Q&A. So we'll have people in there that are some of my students will be in there. So I'd love to have y'all in. Drop the word workshop if you want to get in on this for Thursday. So that is what's going on. And I'm going to do a quick little recap again on what this whole topic is about and why I'm going live on this topic this week. Right now, though, I can be on for another couple minutes here. So if people are on with me, whether you're on my profile, you're in my Facebook group, go ahead. And if you have any questions for me, drop them in the chat and I'll take them before I pop off with my live. So now is the time. If you have any questions for me, I don't know who's on. Give me a #live or #replay so I know who's on with me if you're on live. And I'm happy to take everybody's questions right now if you have any. Okay. All right. So I see a couple of people are on. I'm not really sure. It's hard. It's a little bit hard for me to tell sometimes. It's a little bit hard for me to tell. I'm going to check in my group because I feel like I get the most engagement when I go live in my group. That's, I think, where everybody is used to me. I do see some comments in here. Yeah, I do see Charisse is on. We've got Robin. We've got Gwen is in here. We've got Ginger. We got Crystal. We've got Blessing. Hello, everyone. So I see some people in. So say hello as you join. I see all of you lovely ladies in here. Good to see everyone today. All right. I'm glad you all are here. Yeah, I'm going to be, for my ad club people, there's some that are on the live that are my ad club people. And just so everybody knows, if you are in my ad club, which is my $27 a month membership, you're going to get this workshop for free. You'll get the Zoom link. I'll be sending that out on Wednesday. So you'll have full access with my Zoom link and you can come and jump into the workshop training and also Q&A. Okay. So anybody in the ad club, I told them you get automatic access and you get lifetime access to this, which will go to the ad club vault. This is part of the reason, by the way, like the main reason I started running Facebook ads, started ad club is because I know how much these things are changing. And so ultimately people are always asking me questions, like people nonstop pick my brain and they're like, okay, like, how do we know what's working right now? And I constantly have that question, or I had like people DMing me and saying like, oh, I'm trying to set up my ad and I haven't run an ad in a couple months. It's all changed. And I'm like, yep, it is all changed. I mean, I see changes day by day, right? So the whole reason I have ad club and the whole reason like I'm teaching a live workshop is so that you have the latest of what's working right now. And there has been some major changes. So it's a perfect time for me to run this workshop. So if you want the workshop, drop the word workshop in the chat. I'll make sure to get it to you. If you're already in my ad club, you get the full workshop, you get the full training. And also you get, you're going to get the full workshop, the full training, the full replay. You're also going to get, what was I going to say? Q&A as well. So anyway, that's coming up this week. It's just 2 days away. I'd love to have you in if you guys want to be in. All right. So I will pause for another couple minutes here. Again, give me a #live, #replay. If you are on live or on the replay, I did see some of you lovely ladies in here today. Then also, what else was I going to say? Drop the word workshop if you want the workshop. Again, if you're in ad club, do not buy the workshop. You get it as part of being in the ad club. You get full access, okay? So give me now's the time to ask questions, okay? So if anyone has questions, I saw some people in the Facebook group. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the group right now or on my profile. We are streaming, by the way. We're on all the channels actually today. We're streaming into, I think, 3 different Facebook groups. We're on the Facebook profile. We're on LinkedIn. We stream to YouTube as well. I've been trying to like publicly live stream more and more. So yeah, I hope this is super good and hopefully everyone is able to see my content and really understand what's happening with these ads. Okay. So drop in those questions if you have any. And again, I'm going to recap one more time and then you guys will all have this replay as well. So big update, dynamic creative is going away. So don't worry, there's still like, it's going away, don't use it. So if you've utilized dynamic creative and, you know, fine, if you have ads going with dynamic creative, don't worry about it. But just know that for starting this week, you're going to want to set up your ads differently, not with dynamic creative. Instead, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to run them what's called flexible. Okay. And flexible is under the ad level, which is where we build out our creative under format. Okay. So you can look back. I screen shared. I showed you guys where it is. So everybody knows no dynamic creative. We're going to run with flexible. And that way you can still test out a lot of different ad creative, up to 10 different ad design images, up to 5 pieces of a copy, up to 5 headlines. And that's really going to give you a good idea of what's working creatively with your ad for the same budget. That's the other beautiful thing about testing out a lot of different stuff with flexible is or testing out a lot of different creative. What you're going to do is it's not going to be any more budget. So let's say you're just running a regular lead gen ad and you're running it at $20 a day. To be able to test out 10 different formats of designs to know what works so that you can like get better results is by far worth it. So if you're not doing it this way and testing out a lot of creative, I highly recommend you do. Okay. So that's the main thing there, dynamic creative. And then again, I'm going to go through my whole methodology of what I think about and getting into that creation mode when I work with clients and how I approach it. We're going to go through the setup and the how, moving over from dynamic creative to flexible. We're going to go through, again, my methodology with creative. I'm going to put together, I have this vision of like putting together this whole diagram for everybody to see too. So again, workshop coming up this Thursday, June 20th, noon Eastern. It's 2 days away. I'm going to have slides. It's going to be all hands-on interactive. I'm going to share my methodology. And then we're going to go through some hands-on stuff and we're going to do a Q&A as well. So I'd love to have you guys in if you want in. Otherwise, you have this training for today. You know what to do. If you see weird stuff happening with your ads manager, again, don't force it. Just know things might be a little wonky for a couple days. Again, I've been seeing all the changes rolling out into the ad accounts. Like even on my ad accounts, some things weren't in there a couple days ago. Now they are. And that's great. And even in my clients' accounts, so I've been seeing, like I see lots of people's accounts because I'm in a lot of people's accounts working. So I can kind of see what's going on in there. So if these updates haven't rolled out, I'm sure they're going to roll out in the next couple of days. Okay. So that's that. Everyone's going to have the latest training with me on Thursday, and especially for ad club people that are actively running ads, you will have those as well. Okay. So let me go ahead and refresh and see if you have any questions before I pop off for the day. All right, cool. All right, so let me get back in here. See if anyone has questions for me. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to drop them in the chat. And I will definitely get to those at some point today. So I see some comments in here. Let me just see if there's anything. Okay, I do see one question. Yay, Charisse has a question. Cool. All right, let me pop this in. I'm going to pop this question up for a minute so I can make sure to get it in here. So give me a second. I'm trying to be all fancy with my live streams now because, hey, why not? I've got the technology and the features. I got them all working now. I'm so proud of myself. So, all right, let me pop this question in, which is great. I don't even know what the question is, but I'm going to pop it in for you guys. All right, this question is from Charisse. I feel like it's helpful if I just show it so everybody knows. Oh, fancy now, I love it. Okay, so this is one question coming in that I saw. I could not connect my Facebook pixel to WooCommerce. After talking to Facebook, they no longer support it. They no longer support what? Any suggestions? So you got WooCommerce. So WooCommerce, my website is through WordPress. I don't use WooCommerce, but like it's all connected, right? It's all connected with WordPress, right? So if you are adding your pixel to your whole website, which would be WordPress, then you're also going to be adding it to your WooCommerce account because they're all connected. Like WooCommerce is literally just a plugin to make a shopping cart on WordPress, right? So adding a Facebook pixel, all you need to use, what I use is a plugin called Headers and Footers. Let me drop that in the chat. So this is a WordPress plugin called Headers and Footers plugin. And that is a plugin, you just search them on your WordPress for headers and footers. And then you can go ahead and get your Facebook pixel. The Facebook pixel is in the ads manager. So you got to go into ads manager and go to your events manager. And then again, you can go find the pixel in there. And you just drop it into, like, you can use, like I said, this headers and footers plugin. And what that's going to do is it will install the whole plugin. Okay. It's going to install the whole, pixel on your whole website. Okay. Because like I said, WooCommerce is just a plugin in order to make a WordPress website have a shopping cart, essentially, right? So all we need to do is install the Facebook pixel, the base Facebook pixel, using headers and footers plugin on your website. And the pixel should go on your whole website, including WooCommerce. Now you can check this. I'm going to show you guys because why not show off my new fancy website. On a side note, I had I had my website down for a couple of days and I was thinking, who looks at my website anyway? And all these people were messaging me, I'm trying to look at your website and I can't find it. I'm like, I better get this back up and running. So here's my website. It is tammyp.com. If you guys want to go check it out, of course, got to shamelessly plug that. Check out my website at tammyp.com. I've got all kinds of stuff on there, including free stuff. But anyway, once you install your pixel using headers and footers, then after that, what you're going to do is you will install something called Meta Pixel Helper. So if you can see Meta Pixel Helper up here, which is a Chrome extension. So you have to be on Chrome browser. You got to download that extension. You just search Chrome extensions, Meta Pixel Helper, and it's going to show if you installed your pixel correctly. Okay. So that's the case. I have Meta Pixel Helper, and you can see right here, Meta Pixel Helper. And you can see I have my pixel ID up here with a little checkbox. That is because all I did was use Headers and Footers plugin, which is a WordPress website, take my pixel out of the events manager, put it over onto my website, and putting that code onto the headers and footers. And then from there, what we do is we go ahead and just check if it's working with this little browser called Meta Pixel Helper. And like, if you're concerned, okay, is it picking up on my WooCommerce pages? Then just go to a WooCommerce page. Like again, I could open up, I don't know, like any one of these pages, and I could click here and it's going to go to another page. And then you can see Meta Pixel Helper right here, right? Okay. So that's that. And just a side plug, like I will, this is the whole thing. All the stuff that I teach you guys, this is all accessible. You can ask all your questions on the workshop with me on, come to the workshop on Tuesday and we'll go way more in depth as well. And these are all things that we cover in my ad club as well, my membership. So this is what we have going on today. Let me see if you have, I hope that was super helpful for you. I think that was pretty in depth. me see if there's any other questions here. Yeah, you can try Pixel Your Site plugin too. Pixel Your Site plugin, just don't use both. Pixel Your Site plugin works as well. I haven't installed mine on mine. The cool thing about Pixel Your Site, which is I think the one that Meta suggests, you can also do your conversion API through that as well. And that's also, you don't have to upgrade or anything. I have to get mine installed again. I just had my that one's a little bit different. So Pixel My Site works well. And again, they do put in a lot of upgrades on that plugin. So it's a little bit annoying because they constantly want you to pay for stuff. So just ignore that. If you install Pixel Your Site, they're going to try to make you upgrade to stuff you don't need to. With Pixel My Site plugin or whatever that is, same thing. Don't do headers and footers if you do Pixel My Site. Just do one or the other. Otherwise, they'll conflict. But you can do the Pixel My Site plugin, and that's just cutting and pasting the piece of code. Just follow the directions. They have videos in there about that. But you can also install the conversion API as well through that one as too. So use one or the other. But also know with the Pixel My Site, if you want to get more advanced, you can do the conversion API, which, I have a lot of mixed feelings around this. I do want to set up everything per how Facebook tells me to do it. And we want to make sure if we can, and we're not as advanced, but work through it a little bit at a time. So you have the Pixel installed on there. You have the, what else? We have the conversion API on there. And again, this all can be done through the Ads Manager and with the Pixel My Site plugin. But it's just really about getting the conversion API and getting the pixels in there. It's really about the data. So I had this question earlier today, and people were like, well, what is the deal? Why do you need, one of my clients was asking, what is the pixel? Why is the pixel important? Why is the conversion API important? The reason it's important is because Facebook is taking all the data, right? And what they're trying to do is they're trying to assess your account, if you will. So if you imagine you have your conversion API and your pixel, all the places, on your website, it's on your social media, like on Facebook and Instagram and all the places. It's on maybe your funnels if you're more advanced, right? Then when you start an ad, Facebook is trying to based on behaviors. So right now what they're doing is they're most of their learning is setting up through customer intention and behavior, right? So if they have more data because you're supplying them with the data from your accounts, then they're going to take that learning and that data in order to find and give you the result that you want, right? And so again, I need to do a whole training and topic on this, but Facebook is all about, it's a lot more about Meta and machine learning now and AI and automating. That's where Facebook ads are going. And that's why I truly believe that everybody should learn, everyone should be learning Facebook ads for themselves. Number one, I truly believe that. But I also believe that right now, we're at a really cool time with Facebook ads because before they used to be so complicated, you guys. I've been doing these ads for 5 years now or more, and it used to be so complicated, okay? It is going so much more in the direction of less complicated and letting Facebook do the heavy lifting. So if you're on the fence with even learning Facebook ads right now or wanting to implement them in your business, it is easier than ever to start ads and be successful with them because of the direction they're going. And I think it's just going to keep going in that direction of machine learning, of AI, of more automated. So so much less confusion other than them doing all their updates all the time, which is annoying, but so much less confusion on even setting up your ad. It's really a lot about testing that creative now. I mean, that's literally, if I 100%, setting up an ad is pretty straightforward. Now, I mean, I don't want to say straightforward. There's definitely different ways to do it, but I'm saying it's going in such a direction of being automated, and everything else so that you don't have to do as much anymore in order to be good at it, right? You don't have to hire someone with crazy high expertise and pay them a lot of money in order to do this, right? You can learn this for them yourself. I truly believe anyone can learn Facebook ads, and I truly believe that right now we're at a time where it's easier than ever to learn how to run ads if you're open to it. You got to be open to it. Like I have lots of people, they're just like try an ad for a week or two and they're not getting the results and they're just like, oh, nope, I'm going to go do something else, right? I'm going to tell you right now, like the bigger brands and businesses, they don't think to themselves, am I doing advertising or am I not, right? Like Coca-Cola is not coming back and being like, yeah, like maybe I'm going to do advertising this week, right? Like if you want to grow your business at an accelerated rate and you really desire to, get more clients, sell your programs, sell your digital offers, the only way, in my opinion, is through advertising. And I don't want to say the only way because there is organic methods. Like I know people are like, yeah, I'm doing other things and I'm hoping like my reel or pop off or whatever. But like even infusing a little bit of Facebook ads, even if you are doing organic marketing like reels and everything else. Now I'm going on a tangent, but anyway, it works so much better with whatever you're doing, whether it's reels, whether it's live streams, whether it's, video, whether like whatever it is. If you're running ads, it helps because you get so much more visibility running ads. Just trust me on this. So now is the best time, in my opinion, to learn ads. Again, once you get past that initial setup and that little initial tech of like, getting that pixel sorted out, the conversion API and all that good stuff, never been a better time to run ads. It's so much more less complicated than it used to be. You don't have to sit there and figure out these big complicated audiences or anything like that. Like it's literally just testing out creative. So I hope that was super helpful. Let me see. I've been on for a bit here, so let me see here. If there's any other questions, I hope, Sharice, you got your answer there. And go for it. Like, get that pixel installed, get your conversion API installed in the next couple days, and you'll be ready to go. All right. So I got to see a couple more comments in here. Yes. What's the plugin? So again, Sharice, you can either like Pixel Your Site plugin is perfectly good. And again, Meta recommends it. And I think Meta recommends Pixel Your Site because, and I'll drop both of them in here. Actually, let me look really fast. Pixel Your Site, they recommend it because you can do the conversion API with it. But again, you don't have to pay any kind of money for this. So these are the two. Let me bring them up on the account, and I'm going to also post them in the, let's see. Let me post them in here for people. So Pixel Your Site plugin, and this is for WordPress only, just so you guys know. So Pixel Your Site plugin, I'm dropping them into the chat right now. We also have, and I'll share my screen and show you guys because I cut a couple little more time here. Headers and footers plugin. Let's see, and I'll share my screen just so people see it. I'm also dropping the URLs into the chat as well for everybody. So you can try these two out and see what works best for you. Again, it's always all different. And then we also use something called the Facebook Pixel Helper. And I'll pull all these up in a minute. I'm just getting them into the chat so people can get the help that they need. So Facebook Pixel Helper, and then I'll review each of these three. These are the three that are my go-tos. Pixel Helper. Oops. All right, so let me pull up my screen here for a moment, and we'll go through it a little bit more in depth. So there's three. One would be, again, take your pick, and this is only for WordPress. I know a lot of people use a lot of different things. This is only a disclaimer for WordPress, okay? You can use something called Pixel Your Site, which again, Meta endorses this. I put it on my page, and this way you can have, this only works for WordPress, so you have to have WordPress for this. And this way you're going to be able to install your Meta Pixel, and then you're also going to be able to install your conversion API. And this absolutely works. Meta recommends it as well, and I've tested it. You do not need to pay for anything here, okay? So it's going to like prompt you once you install the plugin to upgrade. You don't need to pay for this plugin in order to make it work, to get your pixel installed and your conversion API. So there's one. The second one, which is only good for, this will only work for the pixel, not the conversion API. So if you want to install your Facebook Meta Pixel on WordPress, you can also search a plugin called WordPress Headers and Footers. And that is going to give you, that's going to give you a good, like, this is a pretty straightforward plugin just to put the, that little piece of pixel in your header. Works really good. Doesn't really have conflicts. My past life, I was really an expert in WordPress. I still am. I still have my websites in WordPress, and I still do help some clients on WordPress as well. So that's the second one. Then the third one is once you get the pixel installed, you're going to want to use something called the MetaPixel Helper. And this is a Chrome extension where it's going to show you what if you installed the pixel correctly. So this is big because you want to make sure that if you have that pixel installed on your website, that it's actually working, right? And so you know that Facebook is processing processing your data, which essentially when it comes to the MetaPixel, that's what it's all about. It's all about giving Meta the ability to, like, we're basically giving them our data on our business so that they can find more people that will want to either buy your product or service or like even come in as a lead, right? So and that's a whole nother discussion. So those are my three that I recommend. Again, I recommend MetaPixel Helper. I recommend headers and footers. And then I also recommend, yes, I do recommend the third one, which is Pixel Your Site. Again, all of these are free. And if you don't, even if you aren't running ads right now, I do recommend at the very minimum getting your pixel on your website just so it's collecting data from social media and everywhere else. And then also, I recommend if you're a little bit more advanced and you want to dive in, once you get your pixel in there, get your conversion API as well. All those things will help you be more successful. And it is some tech, it's tech when you first get it set up, but then once you have it set up, you don't need to worry about it anymore. And that's a good thing. So, all right, I hope that is helpful. Hope to see everyone at the workshop on Thursday. It's going to be amazing. And I'll see everybody soon. I'll see if you come to the workshop, I'll see you on Thursday. And it's going to be super great. So I hope this was helpful today, and I will talk soon. Bye.